There are so many factors as I've grown up that have come to make me who I am. At the age of 14, I enrolled in boarding school in Nigeria. I made the transition from the American schooling system to the British schooling system, and shock was an understatement. My grades fell, and I had never been in that situation before. I was also the new kid, and we know how that story goes. I became really introverted in some aspects of my life, and it became harder for me to interact with people properly. I found my way into a program called the SRC, the Student Representative Council, which was basically a student senate for the school. This might have been where the route was planted for me to run for the student body office when I came into college. My school also hosted a talent show every year, and I decided to audition for that, and I think that's where my rapping career got started. Basically, living in Nigeria allowed me to see a totally different aspect of life. I went to school with a bunch of rich kids, so I saw privilege that I had never seen before, but at the same time I saw a devastating amount of poverty. As rich as Nigeria is in natural resources, the country is horribly mismanaged. Every time I saw people on the side of the road begging for money, or children just as young as myself selling things in between traffic rather than going to school, it struck a nerve. I felt that there should be people willing to help us and willing to help others rather than just themselves. By the time I was ready to leave Nigeria, I had adapted very well and in a way had a new perspective on life. Between the time I was gone and came back, Obama had been reelected and the whole Trayvon Martin story had happened, and the racial tension in the country was higher. I felt more subtle and blatant racism and discrimination that I hadn't felt when I left. Now, it might have actually been that I was older and more mature and aware and able to understand the whole situation at hand, but I didn't like what I was experiencing. This pushed me to do more research on racial struggles and also led me to become more informed on other struggles such as the LGBTQIA movement, women's rights, and pushed me to understand topics such as intersectionality. I carried this passion with me into college. Coming into college, I decided to join many groups, including the Black Student Association, African Student Association, and the Student Government Association. College was a new experience, and I wanted to take in as much of it as possible. I found out at the end of the year that I could run for Senate and be a voice for the students on my campus. Being at a PWI, I felt that there needed to be a voice for minorities on campus, and I felt that I could be that voice. I ended up running for an engineering seat and won the seat. Since then, I have proposed legislation regarding less volatile topics, such as making Texas Tech a cleaner, greener campus, or more volatile topics such as implementing washing stations for Muslim students, or having a commencement committee to allow a more diverse range of people to be chosen as commencement speakers. After having won and having been in Senate for a year, I still felt as though more could be done for marginalized people on campus. That is why I decided to run for the student body presidency. It has always been one of my goals to be the student body president of a college, and this was the opportunity for me to do just that, and also help people that needed to be helped in the process. Forming the Juntos campaign was one of the most memorable experiences of my college career. One of my main goals was to get more people of color into Senate. At least they would be able to cover more ground than the very few people of color that we had in the Senate before. I ran a campaign that was like 90% people of color. I wanted to show people of color that while we might be a minority at this school, we can still do things like run for student body office and bring awareness to the issues that we see on campus. I want to be great one day. By being great, yes, I do mean working hard and making a lot of money, but I also mean being able to give back to the world and leave it a better place than I came into it.